Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all my wonderful and beautiful little subscribers out there. And how I love you all so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delicious. And that life is treating you most deliciously. Now then, what's the time, Mr. Wolf? So it's 2:05 in the afternoon, my delicious little babies, okay? On the 5th of August 2025. There's very large grey and white, not so fluffy clouds. We're seeing a little bit of blue. The sun is shining, weather is sweet, yeah, okay? So, yeah, it was drizzling earlier. A little bit windy, but still t-shirt weather. Okay, my delicious babies, t-shirt weather. Okay, my delicious babies, just repeated that. Okay. Now then, so what do I have to say today? So 3, 2, 1, my juice, little lights. Thank you, little lights. You're delicious and bright. Okay, my delicious babies. I've just got Blackbeard. You know, Blackbeard. Okay, my delicious, I've just got it, Blackbeard. I can see like a man, Blackbeard. Okay, my delicious babies. Now then, what do I have to say? But this one's different. I'm getting like 18, or could it be the 18th, there we are, century or something? Anyway, whatever it is, my delicious babies, I'm not a historian. Anyway, my delicious babies, so yeah, I've got a number of videos today. Now, I never did a video yesterday. Okay, sorry, before I say anything else, I hope that life is treating you most deliciously wherever you are in the world. Okay, my delicious babies, can. Yeah, well, I never did a video yesterday, but I did do 2 shorter videos, okay? So, just to tell you very briefly, because I don't want to keep rambling on about it, because it just pees me off, okay, my delicious babies? And thank you, can I just please say, for any views, for any likes, and for the occasional comments, how I love you all so. You're wonderful, beautiful, and delicious, and I love you. Okay, there we are, my delicious babies. I genuinely do, okay? And I'm very thankful, if anybody gets, any information from the videos that I give out. So this is not about me having subscribers. I'm very thankful and grateful for my subscribers, but that's not why I'm here. I'll repeat again. There we are, before I begin. I'm here to give out the information. I like to keep my subscribers low. There we are. I like to keep it low. Do you know what I mean, my delicious babies? Because the way I see it is, not meaning this rude or disrespectfully, there we are, before I even say it, less is more. Okay, my delicious babies, okay? So what I'm going to give out today, okay, is going to be, shall we just say, there could be mixed, there we are, emotions here. Okay, my delicious babies. So I'm not going to sing because it's not a laughing matter. Okay, my delicious babies. I mean, I love to sing, of course I do. So, ones are usually, my beautiful little babies, not in that way with anybody, but, or any of the videos that I give out. But, you will notice that I do sing on videos, you know what I mean? Well, of course, we've got to have that, there we are, that singing, you know what I mean, okay? Because it does cheer you up. Even if days when you get a bit peed off, you know what I mean? You can at least have a sing-song and, like, always look on the bright side of life. Do-do, 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 do-do. Okay, I think that's a brilliant flipping song, my delicious babies. I've got it somewhere on CD. Anyway, let me get back to the matter in hand. So I did 2 videos yesterday. So the first one, so I was walking out early with my beautiful and delicious little Ruby Tuesday, because my beautiful and delicious little Mary Zimu, bless her, can walk herself. I never needed to stumble there. And so where I live, so I go out my front door, turn right, and then I pass just a few footsteps away, my delicious babies, okay? And then you got a load of bushes there, my little trees, and I always give my little trees a kiss every day. Do you know what I mean? I'm a beautiful little buttercup up the road, my delicious babies, okay? I just, there we are, value nature. I value all of the beauty of it. And of course, there's others, who too absolutely adore it, millions in the world, but you do have a small percentage. who like to, there we are, destroy when they're supposed to be, let's just say, leaving nature intact. And somebody had thrown a load of paint, mad little babies, okay, so it was on the pavement, just by the electric box, okay, there's a couple of boxes there. And I think they're grey and green. And well, I should know, I flipping walk past every day, mad little babies anyway. They threw it on the grass. Well, what is that going to do? That's very toxic to the grass and our soil. Then there was a circle, which was the paint lid, which was a plastic mad little base, and it said 1973. Well, I was born in 1973, okay? So therefore, I happened to, well, let's just say, take that, there we are, very personally. You know what I mean? If they'd, say, put 1981 with the plastic lid, okay, mad little babies, and I probably would have thought, okay, well, what was going on in 1981? But no, 1973 in blue. Well, blue actually means to do with the colour. It means communication, freedom, courage and strength. Okay, mad little babies, because when I used to do a lot of readings, I quite often used to mention, you know, the colours. Mad little babies, like we could say it with brown, is grounding. Okay, mad little babies. So, you know, I did talk about all of this now, mad little babies, not long after I first started on my videos. Okay, mad little babies, anyway. But if you look at it very carefully, and I did post the short video, you'll see it looks, you got the plastic lid of the paint, and then you've got, and of course, if you look, I mean, I'm 51, okay, so, you know, put the 5 and the 1 together, comes to 6 mad delicious, there we are, little babies, do you see what I mean, okay, except for I never mentioned that on my short video, okay, I realised that once I'd posted it out, and by the way, it took hours to upload, as I do for most of my videos, there we are, mad delicious little babies, do you see what I mean, okay. Because one's, there we are, from YouTube, just want to make it damn flipping annoying, there we are, for myself, do you know what I mean, mad little babies, so that's all right, let them carry on, okay, because there we are, they too have their own enslavement, there we are, okay, mad little babies, anyway. So I thought, what's all this about? But when you actually looked, and the way that the paint was thrown, because like I said, I can look in bricks, stones, everything, trees, you name it, clouds, okay? And I can always spot either, there we are, a birth race, meaning face, you know, for my beautiful little babies who listen to me regularly. So you'll know what I mean by that. And I can usually always see something, mad little babies. Now, to myself, looking at that, it looked like some kind of animal. There we are, mad little babies, okay, maybe strange looking, there we are, kind of animal, mad little babies. But it would well be worth, for anybody who does happen to have an interest, to please take a look at that short video that I put up, okay, to do with this, okay? So as far as I'm concerned, I thought, right now then, draw a line. So I'd mentioned on my videos that I was seeing blue gloves and, you know, and everything like this now then, okay? And somebody, you know, waving a blue glove. And then, of course, as I was walking around, seeing all different things, like there's a 200 mad delicious babies, and it's got like this concrete brick on top of it, on top of a bin, mad delicious babies. Actually, to be honest with you, I had words with your man there over the back, the Asian man, and in one of the flats, mad delicious babies. When was it? Last week. And I said, what did you cut the bush down for? Sorry, mad delicious babies, I just need to mention this. Now, it's clearly a rented property, and there's a beautiful bush there that had been there for years, mad delicious babies, okay? It's just a beautiful bush, okay? That's the way it grew in the front garden. Okay, it was rather large, fair enough. But I personally, there we are, adored the colours. It's like different coloured greens and everything. It was just so super duper beautiful. Walked past the flipping one day, and your man there, this little flipping Asian man with a little hat and wears a dress. And I'm not being rude or disrespectful, Martin, little babies, okay? I'm just done saying it the way it is, okay? You know, so I'm not racist, prejudice. I'm no nothing now. So they would usually always say hello to me anyway, you know, oh, hello, you know, like this, okay? Martin, little babies anyway. Yes, like stumbling there. So I had a word with him when I saw him. So I said, he said, hello. I said, hello, good afternoon. I said, what do you chop the bush down for? And he turned around, he said, it was too big. I said, so you had to hack at it. There we are. I said, you had to hack at it. I was very serious. There we are, mad little babies. Now, some would say, well, really, that's not your right to say that. Well, actually, mad little babies, there we are. Yes, it is. I mean, I wouldn't even mind. He could have maybe trimmed it a bit to make it look, but he just hacked at it. Mad little baby's case. And now, I mean, every time I walk past, I say, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, you know, my a beautiful little bush baby, how are you? Because it's like it's holding on for, there we are, for dear life. There's a lot of brown where we don't like that word dying. We seem to keep hearing this very sadly lately, mad little baby's kind. But you can see where it's dying, which it wasn't before. So anyway, I just thought, you know what? I thought, but this is a state of affairs, mad little babies. They do not seem to have, for some of them, mad little babies, the same sort of that we would have. Okay, mad little babies, okay? And usually the curtains look. Anyway, mad little babies, the net curtain. I personally cannot stand net curtains. I've been like it ever since I was little, mad little babies. And my dear dad, bless him, he could not stand net curtains, mad little babies. But which, of course, we used to say decades ago that when one's had net curtains, it's like, you know, they could see out, you know, there we are, but nobody could see in. Do you know what I mean? So that's why you get that old-fashioned saying, mad little babies, you know, like when the net curtain twitches. You know, like when you're watching what others are doing. Do you know what I mean? Mad delicious little babies. It was just an old-fashioned saying decades ago. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, they can live however they want to live. I mean, and when I looked at him, I mean, he had orange teeth, bright orange teeth, mad delicious little babies. Since when does somebody, not being nasty, but I mean, I'm not even one to pay attention. Well, I mean, I do pay attention to things, mad little baby. So I would be completely telling Porcupine say that I do not, okay? But I couldn't help but look at his hamster deefs. I mean, they were flipping orange, man. I thought, what you been doing? Put flipping henna on your hamster deefs, mad little babies. Yeah, I'm stumbling there. Anyway, well, something's caused his teeth to go orange, hasn't it, mad little babies? And I just thought, oh, gosh. I'm not doing nasty, mad little babies. And I thought, oh, you got a wife now, a whiff. And I thought she's going to kiss you. Damn right, man. So I'm not being nasty when I say it. I mean, I happen to brush my hamster teeth, you know, 3 times a day, mad little babies. Sometimes I'll brush them, 4 times a day. But, of course, I've been like that since I was little. And when I used to have, that doesn't mean no. When I used to have braces, because I had to have braces for 3.5 years, mad little babies, Kai, when I was very young, when I was a wee young lass. And it was the braces that you could take out, like they were metal and plastic, okay? And what it was designed to push your teeth back in, mad little baby. I wasn't goofy or anything. I've got nothing against anybody who's goofy anyway, mad little babies. What I mean is that it just had to be pushed in a bit. Okay, mad little babies, okay? So I used to take me a toothbrush and my toothpaste because I used to go to, that doesn't mean no, I used to go to an all-girls school, mad little babies, okay? So I used to take it in my little wash bag and see if I used to have breakfast. And then, well, I used to have breakfast when I was, you know, at home, and then brush my teeth, you know, hamster deefs, and then go to school. And then when we was on the break, you'd probably have a little snack, and then at lunch you'd have a little snack. But, you know, I'd always have to take my brace out to brush my teeth, mad little babies, clean my brace, clean my, you know, teeth, and then put my brace back in. Do you see what I mean? Mad little babies anyway. So, I mean, flip me. I do flipping go off on one sometimes, don't I? Mad little babies. But anyway, I was really annoyed. I was really annoyed about it. Then so many days later, he put a fan, you know, one of these fans that you have in the home, these small white ones, mad little babies, about this large. And he put it right next to the little, my little bush baby tree, bush, mad delicious little babies, kind. And I just thought, well, what are you putting it there for? Do you know what I mean? Mad delicious little babies, kind. But this is what you're dealing with. And I certainly wouldn't want to live that side of the road because it's like one big circle, mad delicious babies, where I live, okay? and then you go down, and that's, there's only one way out, one way in. There we are, one way out. Okay, my delicious little babies. Of course, if you're on foot, you can go through the lakes, and then you can walk, to another road if you want to. But I'm talking about the cars or vans, or do you know what I mean? My delicious little babies, or trucks. So yeah, but he knew that I wasn't happy because there's no need for it. You could have just trimmed it and just have it looking nice and pleasant. But no, that's what I'm saying. There's some who just, they live very differently, my delicious little babies, compared to us. Do you know what I mean? Like, we have, let's just say, for a lot of English now, in our old England, we would not, want to bring shame on the road of where you live, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean? But others, they're clearly brought up, in my humble opinion, very different. Okay, my delicious little babies, anyway, I just thought I'd mention it anyway. So yeah, so it's that blue paint thing. Anyway, but yesterday, let me change the subject now, my delicious little babies, okay? So, what is it that I want to say? But by the way, yeah, he does say hello. Yeah, I will always say hello, but the curtains are twitching, So I wouldn't be surprised, there we are, if they're spars as well, my delicious little babies, there we are. Do you know what I mean, my delicious little babies, anyway? So what is it that I want to say? Yeah, so yesterday morning I went out to go and do a cleansing, which of course I am going to add to my website, because sometimes, from time to time, I did used to go out and do cleansings, my delicious babies, of homes, you know what I mean, one's homes. Just to remove any, there we are, energies that are there, because sometimes there can be very cold energies, and of course, but for myself, being a qualified angelic healer and working with the angels, I can communicate, there we are, very well with them. Okay, there's none of this drama like Merce Taunted, that Merce Taunted and all this crap. Okay, my delicious babies, because that's just for the camera. Okay, one should learn to, there we are, respect any dear spirit, whether they be a ghost or whether they moved on, and they're around you, because they were once like us. There we are. Okay, my delicious babies case, it's all about respect and how we could find a way to maybe get them, if they're travelling through different homes or something, to find them to get away, to go, to their destination where they're meant to be going, because sometimes they get a little bit lost, my delicious babies, and sometimes it can overwhelm families or homes. There we are. Do you know what I mean? Because they're not understanding. Okay, my delicious babies, and it's not the dear residents of their homes. It's not their fault. Okay, it's just that they simply, simple things, do not know how sometimes to clear the energy in a nice way for dear spirit to move on, my delicious babies can. Sorry, excuse me. So so I did in that. So the other video that I did, and again, that was a shorty. And what was really interesting, and I showed the dear who she was, dear lady, bless her, such a beautiful dear lady. I showed her. I said, take a look, because I was using that doesn't mean no Californian sage, my delicious babies. Now it is slightly more expensive than say other sages. You could sometimes pick up a stick of sage and that'd be like £2.53. It's probably a bit more now, ka-ching, but usually that'd be about £2.50. But if you want to get a bag of it, and sometimes you pay a bit more, my delicious babies. So there we are. So I prefer to do that anyway, and just walk around with a bowl. Okay, just light it, and then with the long matches, and then then just just to cleanse, the home, my delicious babies can. So what I could see in this bowl, okay, it's like this. Looks like a honey monster, but smiling. Okay, my delicious, little bit like Pac-Man. And then right next to it, it actually looked like, and then the dear lady agreed, she's so beautiful, not in that way, not in that, she's just such a beautiful dear lady. And I said, look, I said, she looks like Goldilocks. And she went, yes. She said, do you mind if I take a photograph? I said, not at all. And sometimes, you will get that, Okay, my little babies. It doesn't happen often, but sometimes you do. But it was just very fascinating. Where you had a little one which looks like, it looks like one of these smiling emojis, my little babies, okay? And then you had a little tall Goldilocks there, okay, my little babies. What's really amazing, and I'll go back to this again, is how ones just cannot see. Just amazes me. You know, if one's just actually focused on something, could be anything, you'd be able to, there we are, see something else. It's like if you was to look at myself and you stared for long enough, say if you was in front of me, you'd be able to see my aura behind me, because it can be different auras. But auras, there we are, change all the time. My little baby's case, so they're never the same. So you could maybe take a photograph of it, but then the next 5-10 minutes it'll change. Do you see what I mean? My little babies. Anyway, I'm not going to continue rambling on, but yeah, it was lovely. But I did manage, bless, to cleanse the dear lady's home. Okay. Yeah, but it was not, I didn't feel that there was anything bad there, but there was energies there, but it wasn't bad. I'd soon know if it was. I'd just get that horrible cold feeling, and usually they'll come right behind me. Do you see what I mean? My delicious little babies, okay? So I'm fully aware that they're there. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay? But yeah, I've cleansed a number of homes, yes. And like I say, it's a case of sending them back in the direction, you know, that they need to go in, my delicious little babies. Anyway, so let me just get on with this very quickly, okay? Because I'm trying my best not to make the video super duper long today, plus the fact that I'm late doing my lunch, my delicious little baby. So I would like to, eat some food today, my delicious little baby's kind. But I always like to, if I can, get, there we are, a video out to you, okay, my delicious little babies. Now then, so let me just go up here first. I've got to just speed through this. So the first one, this is on Odyssey, Odyssee. The video is an hour and 14 minutes and so many seconds long, my delicious little babies. Now, I do mention this dear uploader, and like I said, not in that way with anybody. He happens to have now 2007 2007 subscribers, my delicious little babies, on Odyssey. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now, the video should read, ours is watching. So if you were looking for him, I usually go through DuckDuckGo. Not everybody agrees with DuckDuckGo, but we could say that, okay, about, there we are, many different, like Google or anything. We could say that about any of them, do you know what I mean? My delicious little babies, okay? Because we've got to remember that somebody's, there we are, watching everything. So if you wanted to find it, capital E as 3 words together, as capital R is capital W, watching. So it's WATCHRN. Okay, that's the upload of my delicious babies. Okay, then and then you'll see it will say ours is watching Odyssey, or do you know what I mean? And then you just click on that one, my delicious babies. Then you've reached your destination. But this video here is ours is watching, hashtag 190 Palantir's Prison grid, mRNA floss, and the healing power of sunlight. Yes, my delicious babies. I mean, this is I always enjoy listening to Stephen's videos, my delicious little babies. He's having a problem with Twitter. Okay, my delicious little babies. He's done 2 accounts and still having problems. Bless him, okay? You see, when you tell there we are the truth, it's like myself. I do not mean this in physical terms, but like I have YouTube, there we are strangling me. Do you know what I mean? So my videos just do not get out at all. My delicious little babies, you know what I mean? Anyway, unless somebody, wants to, pass it on. Do you understand what I mean? For the information, but for most of the time, no. I'm lucky if I get a handful of views, really. Okay, my delicious babies, like I said, not to worry, because at the end of the day, there's always somebody listening and somebody seeing. Do you see what I mean? There we are, some our word. Always, we usually, there we are, get out one way or another. My delicious babies. So thank you to who you are, for, there we are, for being so very kind to me. Thank you so very much. Peace, love, harmony, and bright blessings to you all. Yeah, so far in the video, towards the end, anyway, there's this young 15-year-old young lad. Oh, bless his beautiful dear little soul, not in that way, not, not at all. He's a little Ben, bless him. Anyway, with anybody. I say it in a lovely way because I've had teenage daughters and everything, you know what I mean? And thankfully, my dear giddy God, I haven't had, the sadness that some mummies and daddies have very sadly had. Do you know what I mean? Well, this poor little bear now, he got a fungal infection, my delicious little babies anyway. So, your friendly doctors now, not so friendly, gave this poor young lad and his poor dear family now then 48 hours to remain with us on this earth, Martin baby. So they asked him what would he like. It's like a last request, isn't it, Martin baby? Just like the when they they offer you what would you like, before they execute you. Do you know what I mean, Martin babies? If you follow me, and he said he just wants to go out in daylight. So what they did, they took him out on his bed and everything. Anyway, over the days, guess what? They all started to get better. Martin babies, look at that, look at that. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? Anyway, well worth a listen, but it's really interesting. He covers a lot of things. Okay, my delicious little babies, there we are. Always well worth a listen to Stephen. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now, next one. This is Jimmy Dore, 2.59 million subscribers, my delicious little babies. Okay. The, capital D, space, capital J, Jimmy, space, capital D, Door, space, capital S on YouTube, Martin Babies Can. This video is about 21 minutes something long, Martin Babies. Now it should read mRNA, tainted blood at hospitals. Here's how to avoid it, yeah. Okay, Martin babies. So, I'll just leave it there, really, Martin babies. Me, myself, personally, I know that ones want to help, but, because Jimmy Dore, I do look from time to time, and I have advertised him from time to time, okay? So there's no disrespect, you know what I mean? But my only thing is nobody should have to pay for blood, should they, Martin babies, you know what I mean? And, of course, ones need to really, there we are, watch the blood big time. Okay, Martin babies, it's a bit like a map. There we are. Martin babies car. Now then, so that's that. Now the next one, Martin little babies car. I've just gone over the sea here. This on YouTube, Martin babies, okay. So this uploader is a smaller one. This one's came up on my feed, Martin babies, okay. And it's called capital P, political space, capital W waffle. I don't know, I may have mentioned them before, I don't know, I may have done, may not. Mind you, I could be thinking about other waffles. There is a little pussycat, actually, that I know is called Waffles. Okay, my delicious babies, anyway. Now then, this video is just over 7 minutes long, my delicious babies. Yeah, well worth a watch of this, my delicious babies, because it's been banned in England. There we are, my delicious babies. It's been banned, okay? Where we are. And it should read, Coinbase ad mocks modern Britain, a brutal and honest take on UK life. Okay, my delicious babies. So it's like a musical. Okay, so I'll just repeat it again. Coinbase ad mocks modern Britain, a brutal and honest take on a UK life. See, I believe that we're England, my delicious little babies, not Britain and UK. Do you know what I mean? My delicious. Anyway, that's just my thoughts. But anyway, I'm not saying that about the uploader, bless, okay? Because he's doing, there we are, a good thing with highlighting something, okay? Basically, it's like a musical. This short video, which is the advert, my delicious little babies. But what it is that. It points, there we are, everything out, what's going on, my delicious, there we are, little babies, okay, and of course at the same time, there we are, it's clearly pointing out that we've been made to look, there we are, like a laughing stock. Okay, my delicious babies, so that's that one well worth a watch, okay. Please and thank you. Next one. This uploader now happens to have 155,000 subscribers. I haven't mentioned him actually for a long time, you know. Capital A in a YouTube, Mads Little Babies, Andrew, space, capital L, Lawrence. Okay, Mads Little Babies, that's the uploader for YouTube. The video should read, yeah. His video's just under 3 minutes long, okay, Mads Little Babies. Now, this one is the latest humiliation. Yes, Mads Little Babies, I'll just repeat that again, shall I? The latest humiliation, yes. Now, what this is talking about the same thing as the previous video that I've just mentioned, My Delicious Little Baby's Cat. So with Andrew Lawrence, who he's also a comedian, bless him a cat. He just says everything in just under 3 minutes. Okay, My Delicious Little Babies, nevertheless, it's well worth, sorry, rewind and start again, stumbling there, yeah. Rightfully so. It's well worth a listen to that little video as well, My Delicious Little Baby's Cat. Please and thank you. Just a little bit of time out of anybody's day or night, really. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now, next one. These final two. Now, when I'm going to be doing the title to my video, I am going to be mentioning something, but what I'm trying to do, I'm not talking about anybody who already knows these uploaders. No, I'm not. They happened, there we are, to come up on my feed. So this was a couple of days ago, My Delicious Little Babies. It could be a few days ago, actually, My Delicious Little Babies. Now, and what it is, for myself, I'm very, there we are, I'm very open-minded, before I even said it. I'm very open-minded. I'm very open-minded to, there we are, different views on, there we are, what is been going on, My Delicious Little Babies, and what continues, there we are, to be going on, okay? So I'm not saying anything. Of course, I would say to anybody, you know, of course I would, you know, you have to, there we are, if you can, question, there we are, everything, okay? Because like I said before, everything is not as it seems. Nowhere near it. My delicious little babies, that doesn't mean yes. Okay, my delicious little babies, like I said, we've got to get out of this left-right silly business, you know what I mean? Stand up, sit down, shout. Okay, my delicious little babies. So I'm going to tell you very quickly, like I said, I'm trying my best to speed through what we're on 32:15. Okay, my delicious little babies. So this one here, I'll go for this one first. This on YouTube, My Delicious Little Babies. And by the way, I've never seen any of these uploaders before, so I have to make that abundantly clear. I have not seen any of these uploaders before, but maybe for some of the alternative media, maybe they would have seen. But yeah, some of them have, yeah. But, you know, for anybody else, you know, well, we're all in the same boat because I've never seen these before. Okay, My Delicious Little Babies. And plus the fact that I wouldn't be looking, do you understand what I mean? So that's not being disrespectful, I just wouldn't be. So this uploader here happens to have 238,000 subscribers, My Delicious Little Babies, and it's called capital M in your space bar in YouTube, My Delicious Little Babies. This is just over 6 minutes long, My Delicious Little Babies, okay? Mother, and then space, capital J, Jones. Okay, My Delicious Little Babies, so that's the uploader. Mother, capital M, space, capital J, Jones. Okay, My Delicious Little Babies. Now, the video should read, Gaza aid whistleblower speaks out amid escalating famine. Okay, My Delicious Little Babies, so I'm just going to repeat that again for you, shall I? Gaza aid whistleblower speaks out amid escalating famine. Okay, My Delicious Little Babies. Now, what was really interesting is that I did a video some days ago where I received this, you know, like this leaflet, and it was to do with Domino's pizza, you know, where it says, you know, your own personal pizza and fries, you know, for $5. Ching, ching, ching. Okay, Lady Godiva, father. Just, I don't know, there was just something about this. Anyway, well, in order to get food to the aid workers, you need to listen to this, My Delicious Little Babies. Okay, they ordered, how many did they order? And this is a whistleblower, apparently. 27 pizzas, which of course that comes to 9, My Delicious Little Babies, because 2 and 7, as we would know, comes to 9, okay? Which usually 9 means completion. So apparently with the hunger that was going on, but they seemed to order 27 pizzas to get to the workers. Okay, My Delicious Little Babies, just very, they are very interesting. Interesting, there we are with the comments as well, my delicious little babies. The same thing that was interesting was that 211,000, sorry, I'm just rewinding, political waffle. Very interesting with the comments there as well, my delicious little babies can. Of course, I only read a few of a bit here and a bit there. Okay, my delicious little babies, very interesting indeed, actually. Now then, the final video, and one more thing I want to say about whistleblowers. Isn't it amazing how we've seemed to be hearing there we are more and more whistleblowers? Yeah, there we are. Very, very interesting. There we are indeed, don't you think, my delicious little babies, Kai? And they too seem to have like a left and right thing now going on. Do you know? There we are. Do you know what I mean, my delicious little babies? Yes. After all, the world is a stage, and you and I, my delicious little babies, are all watching this shark show. And very sadly, we're all part of this shark show. Okay, so the final video, my delicious little babies, is interesting as well. This was the first one to come up on my feed, actually. And this uploader happens to have 424,000 subscribers, my delicious little babies, on old YouTube. And it's called, so it's a lowercase t, it's all lowercase. 2 words, sorry, into one, do forgive me. Travelling Israel, all lowercase, my delicious little babies, no capitals. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay? Capitals are usually used, especially in our old England, you know what I mean, to sort of thief money out of ka-ching out of others, you know what I mean, my delicious little babies, because we're classed as, there we are, lost at sea. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies, can? But anyway, travelling Israel.com. Okay, my delicious little babies, that's an old YouTube, my delicious little babies, that's the uploader. This video here is about, what is it? Is that one about 7 or 8 minutes? Something like that, my delicious little babies. Anyway, the video should read, no, Gaza isn't starving. Here's proof in under 60 seconds. Okay, my delicious little babies, so I'm just going to repeat that again for you, shall I? No, Gaza isn't starving. Here's proof in under 60 seconds. Okay, my delicious babies, now I'm going to close my book. So what we need to do, everything's ticked off. Yes. We need to now go back to where we need to go back to, my delicious babies. Now then, let's discuss very quickly, and then I'm going to be over and out. Okay, my delicious babies. So what is it that I want to say? Yeah, so the reason why I'm mentioning this video as well, my delicious little babies, is because there's different takes on it. I think it's on his channel as well, his same channel. There's another video where he shares, and he shares the website as well. I'm pretty sure it's this man's channel. I'm pretty sure it is my delicious little babies. If I've got it wrong, I could have it wrong because there's another one as well, my delicious little babies, because they were just all flying up on my feed, my delicious little babies. But when you look at, say, Israel, and you got the young Israelis where they're taught to despise, to hate the Palestinians. Okay, my delicious babies. Well, there's another video that I saw where they too, the Palestinians, have been taught to despise and hate. So when you look at it, it's an old-fashioned saying, my delicious babies, that we use in old England. One's all know it's decades old. So from what I could see here now, but I'm just open-minded to everything. It's like 6 of one, there we are, and half a dozen of the other. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies, Kai? So, but it's not usually little babies who decide to behave this way, little babies, little bairns. It's usually, what's going on around them, and usually a lot of adult, there we are, input, isn't it, my delicious little babies? Do you see what I mean, okay? Anyway, so what do I want to say about this? So he's showing something else. Now, there is a point to this. Please, just somebody's day or night, whoever you may be, my delicious little babies, okay, please and thank you. There's different takes here on what's going on. So from what I'm gathering, okay, my delicious little babies, there could be some, Palestinians, my delicious little babies, where, yes, you've got certain who are let's just say, suffering than some other Palestinians. Okay, there we are, my delicious little babies, okay? But there's other parts to this, there we are, as well, my delicious little babies. Now, I'm not going to say anything more. It would be better for yourselves, please and thank you, should anybody have any form of an interest, to take a listen yourself. But please look at some of the, there we are, the comments as well, okay? Like I said, I do not believe all is, there we are, as it seems, my delicious little babies. Not at all. Not at all. Okay, my delicious little babies, all right? So, yeah, there's a lot going on. But all I can say is there should be never any, there we are, wars anywhere, my delicious little babies. Because like I said, and I'll repeat again, I've said it time and time again, there's only, there we are, one who benefits, my delicious little babies, from all of this. Anybody else, well, you know, it's very sadly, it's carnage, isn't it? There we are, my delicious little babies, one way or another. Something else which was very important, what your man there, the uploader, said, I will mention this, to do with Yemen and to do with, there we are, Sudan, and I will totally, there we are, agree with that. I actually wrote it next to, you know, the video that I just mentioned to you, my delicious little babies, because nobody's really mentioning, are they? Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? Unless there's, you know, somebody who's, you know, to do with geopolitical, which of course I haven't seen them because I haven't looked into it, you know. So I do not mean that rude or disrespectful to, you know, dear Yemen and dear Sudan. But you can see that, but they do not get all of the there we are, the coverage, do they, my delicious little babies? Do you see what I mean? So I feel at this point, so I'm not saying anything, all I'm saying is, there we are, things are open to question now, isn't it? But while everybody's concentrating on that, we've got so much going on in our England, so it's not that, you know, because I do not agree with anybody's starving, or, you know, going without food or going without water or going without the homes that have been bombed. No, I'm not saying any of that. But what I'm saying is we've got so much going on in England. You've got all this going on in all of the countries. But while they're doing this, they're doing other things, okay, to distract everybody, okay, to put things through now, okay, so that we do not have a say. So my heart goes out to any country who's suffering. However, we too are suffering. Australia's suffering. I mean, I heard on our lovely trend in Iconic, with anybody not in that way, not in that way, this morning, because I listen to them daily, the same as, they're so lovely, not in that way, not in that way, same as our lovely, who's also lovely, not in that way, not in that way, our lovely UK column. Okay, so you can go on their you know, their channels, my delicious little babies, okay, either the websites or davidart.com or iconic.com, or you can go and, you know, they're also lovely, our lovely UK column, or, you know, UK space column space news on YouTube, or trending with our iconic spaces on YouTube, my delicious little babies. But then I heard that, you know, there's so many thousands, what is it, of Indians now moving into Ireland. I mean, come on. There we are. Come on. Anyway, I'm not even going to say it. Anybody who knows me knows I'm not that way. But the fact of the matter is, come on now. Okay? I mean, there we are. Enough should be enough, but we got it in this country, in our old England. We got it in Ireland. We got it in, you know, Scotland. We got it all going on. But they're wanting to focus our attention, which I'm not saying is not important, but they're wanting to focus our attention on other countries, right, when we must be looking after our damn selves, isn't it? Because there we are super duper important. We need to be fed. Not meaning this disrespectfully the way I'm coming across. We need to be fed. We need to be watered. We need, do you know what I mean? To be able to have food in our tummy, to be able to have heat, you know what I mean? But at the same time, not to be flipping, have everything ching, ching, ching taken off us. Sorry, so I'm stumbling here, but I'm not changing my video. So it's not that I'm, you know, heartless. I'm not. But we also, there we are, need to get back to the matter in hand. Now, yes, I'm fully aware, you know, that if these had their way, they've been trying to do it with our farmers, my delicious little babies, and thank goodness that there's more and more farmers now in our old England who are, you know, doing their best to stand up to this, okay? So if they could get away with it, they'd be doing it to us here. Okay, so I get all of that, but at the same time, I'm trying to keep there we are doing my best. Sorry, to keep an open mind. There we are. And what exactly is the right thing going on here now? Do you know what I mean? What is right? What is wrong? What is, there we are, the truth? Even with whistleblowers, can we fully trust everything what whistleblowers say? I'm sorry, my little babies, but that's my view. I'm not sorry for what I'm saying. Do you understand what I mean? So, I shouldn't say sorry because I'm not sorry for what I've just said. And I'm not saying that some are super duper honest. What I'm saying is, we got to see, there we are, what's really going on here. That's all I'm saying, my delicious baby. So on that note, so when I do my video, yes, I am going to be putting things, but it's not for the fact that I do not care. Of course I care. You know what I mean? I've got bairns of my own. Beautiful little daughters, baby daughters of my own. I've got beautiful dear little friends, close call me beautiful dear little friends. There's some who've got the beautiful little babies, sons, daughters, and so forth. And, and in some cases, grandbabies and everything. They're all so beautiful. And where I live, we're surrounded by, families and everything, really nice families. Okay, my delicious little babies. But the fact of the matter is, it's not that I couldn't care. It's not about that. I'm just, there we are, keeping an open mind to what's going, there we are, on. There we are, okay, my delicious little babies, that's all I'm saying. So wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon or evening, please have a super duper delicious time you only get one life, my little honey bunnies, sending peace, love, harmony and bright blessings to each and every one of you. May your beautiful little self and your beautiful little families all be fully protected. I'm not shouting at you, Martin, to look about the sky. It's just we need to, there we are, make full sense of what, there we are, what is going on. It's like this. But then we've got that in the centre. Do you understand what I mean? Yes? So I just feel, there we are, there's something else going on, there we are here, okay? But I'll keep an open mind and I'm willing to listen. There we are, that's all I'm saying. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay? Because myself, I do not side with any war. Never. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay? Because others and families and soldiers, men or women, there we are, they really suffer too. Okay, my delicious little babies, in one way or another. However that seems to rock and roll. Do you know what I mean? My delicious little babies, case. Please take care of yourselves, whether it's, morning or afternoon or evening. Please have a super duper time, okay? Because, you know what I mean? They just want to throw everything at us, but we do have to find a way, there we are, to try to lift the burden off our shoulders and to smile. Do you know what I mean? My delicious little babies. Sometimes it's very difficult to do that. Do you know what I mean? But if we do not do that, okay, then they get the better of us, so they're not going to get the better of us. Okay, my delicious babies, so very much love. How I love you all, sir. Take care. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.